Welcome to the Harley J Way, the Harley J Way. I'm your host, Harley J. Let's jump right in. I'm your host, Harley J, like always, and today we have...
The Sticks Boys.
What's up? Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, well, just to start things off, who are y'all? Like, who exactly are y'all?
I'm Curtis.
I'm Lucas. We're brothers and we have a YouTube channel and we love to make films. So we make films for YouTube.
Yeah. Where are y'all from? I mean, I know somewhere in Australia, but where exactly in Australia?
We're born and raised in Sydney, Australia, so very far from America where we live now.
Yeah,
But yeah, we've just grown up there. Australia's one of the best countries in the world,
we love it.
but we're currently living in California.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the whole story, the whole stick story starts in Australia. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sydney, Australia. Now, when y'all were kids, did y'all see yourself as filmmakers, or something else?
So I'd say when I was super young, I was really into sports and I was like wanting to be a tennis player.
Mm-hmm.
But we always did have like, a really creative side to us. So we would make short films when we were little kids and like use phones or use the laptop webcam and stuff like that. So when we were younger, we were just doing it as a hobby and fun. And even our uncle used to like every time we'd go over his house as kids, like I was probably like 8 and you were like, or even younger, and you were like 4 or
I was
something.
like 4 or 5.
We would go over his house, and the activity that we would do is make a short film. So we'd always be, he'd be like inspiring us and showing us like this fun world of making little films from a young age. And then for me, when I was getting, towards, high school, I was like, I really want to make films like in the future. And Curtis was you were more into acting.
Yeah, I grew up always being on the other side of the camera. No, on the
On the right side.
on the right side of the camera, where Lucas would be on the other side of the camera, and so that was like super natural for like it's very what we're used to, me being the actor, him being the director, and so I really fell in love with acting growing up, and it's still something I really love doing, and
I mean, you were Eric in the Eric video.
that's
Yeah.
some
So
stick lore.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
we have trivia later, sticks trivia. So
Oh, that's
Um,
so fun, bro.
so I've spent the past few days coming up with research and that's just coming up with questions. So
That's
yeah.
so
so
fun.
exciting. I love that.
Exciting.
So stay tuned to the end of this podcast. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
about
Trivia's
to,
coming up.
Yeah.
about to get serious.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
So icebreaker question. We've already kind of gone into this. I should have done this first. What would y'all do if y'all won the lottery?
Wow.
I mean, we would make a few movies. If we won the lottery, we'd definitely make a whole bunch of movies. Probably just save up all the money and just put it to like different movie projects that we've been wanting to do. Maybe like TV series kind of projects as well. I think that's what we do.
Yeah,
Maybe buy a
100%.
few houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give some away.
Give some away. Yeah.
Like Mr. Beast, almost for like the filmmaking versions of Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is each of your favorite movies? I mean, y'all are filmmakers, so you have to have a favorite movie. I feel like.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
We definitely agree on most of our favorite films. Lucas has.
Curtis copied my top 10. He
Basically.
copied my top 10, but he rearranged the order.
Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
Okay, so let's start at the top 5. We'll give you the top 5.
Okay.
Coming in 5th place for Lucas would have to be.
Now I have to think back to 5th place. Um, Probably.
We'll give you a group of 5, but maybe not ranked as.
Yeah,
5.
I'm too
Is that
scared.
easier?
I'm too scared to say 5th place. Okay, so
Okay.
top Django Unchained
Ooh, that's good.
by
That's
Quentin
good. That's good.
Tarantino,
That is good.
and put right close to that Inglourious Bastards by Quentin Tarantino. And
Y'all are
then
Quentin heads?
what?
Y'all are Quentin heads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love we also love Damien Chazelle, so I love Whiplash. I think that's one of my favorite movies.
Yes. So
And La La Land.
Yeah.
that is my top number one. La La Land.
La La Land?
That's awesome.
My favorite film.
Yeah, I love La La Land. And then David Fincher, Gone Girl, and Social Network. They always come in twos. The top
Wow.
two for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know
Those
what
are
you
my
mean.
two favorite from David Fincher.
Okay.
And then Scorsese, Shutter Island,
Ooh.
The Departed, and what else? You know, his old school stuff too, but
Grand Budapest
Yeah.
Hotel.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know if it's typical. We're just like saying all the typical filmmaker ones, but there's a reason because they're all really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about
Is
you?
that?
But
I mean, La La Land is #1 for me, I would say, and then I have to say #2. Kind of 2 and 3 of the Knives Out films.
Oh,
Mm.
yes, yeah.
Just so they pull you in, um, they're just so good.
Yeah.
And then it's my third or fourth favorite film. It's a kind of one that I don't think anyone else is really. I don't think anyone else in the world has this is their favorite film, but Tenet.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
Interesting.
controversial for sure.
Very controversial, but love it.
Yeah.
Okay, now my question is, when did y'all decide to go into YouTube full time?
Mm.
Take
So
it away.
we've been making videos. We've had a YouTube channel since we were like, I was like 9, Lucas was like 12.
Yeah, I found one of your old YouTube channels,
Oh,
by the way,
no.
accidentally.
Oh, wow.
And it was like literally yesterday. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so
But
we've always like been creating YouTube videos together since we were really young, um, through different phases of different YouTube channels. The most recent channel, Sticks, though, we basically, it was like during COVID, we came together and we'd had enough of trying to just get by life by making money and doing video related projects without really chasing our dream. So we decided we've had enough. Let's just work together, put our heads together one more time, and see if we can just make this YouTube thing work.
Yeah. So we made a short film for a film competition, and then we were like, oh, that took us like a week
Mm.
to make a short film, and it was very good. We enjoyed making it. And then we were like, we could do 2 more of these short films for the same competition. So we made 3 short films in the space of like 3 weeks. And we're like, wait, if we can do that, then maybe if we just kept making short films, we could create a YouTube channel. And so we just put aside certain times in the week. So it was like 2 or 3 days that we were just investing in that. And then the other 2 or 3 days we were having to do our businesses to stay afloat,
Mm.
like our video production work. And then, but that didn't help because we were making short films and no one was watching them.
Yeah. So it wasn't really until we found what we would love to do, which is make short films, but also what people want to watch. And that's kind of what our channel is today.
Yeah.
so of course now I have to obviously ask, where did the name Sticks come from? Can you tell us the origin of that?
For sure.
Yeah. So it came from, I was wanting to start a brand that kind of would like allow us to make movies and stuff in the future. So the idea for the name Sticks came from, there's a few different reasons. The first one is the kind of films that are the best in our opinion is like the ones that just resonate with you. So sorry.
You're good.
The ones that just resonate with you. So I literally
Tell me
need to
to
have a glass of water. Take it away, Kurt.
The films that resonate with you are the ones that stick. So
Yeah.
that's kind of one of the reasons is like no one forgets something that sticks. And so the best ideas are those ones. And then the other kind of reasons are like, what can you do with a bundle of sticks? And that's kind of where the logo came from.
Meaning like a bundle of sticks is like the bare minimum that anyone has. Like what can you do with what you have in your hands, and can you make gold out of nothing? And those ideas that come out of that mentality of thinking are really the best ideas. They're the most refined, they're the most like creative because you've had such restraints. And so when you come up with an idea when you have nothing at your disposal, those are the kind of ideas that we love, that we think are the best. So
It's kind of a double meaning.
double meaning.
Yeah. I love the origin story. That's awesome. Now I have to ask, which of all the YouTuber films you've made is your favorite?
Whoa. That's a
That
hard.
is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if we'd have the same one.
I think like emotionally, the Ryan Trahan one has my heart because it was like the one
Yeah.
that blew up. But I think I do think the latest one is our best work. Yeah.
Matt Pat, the one I'm in.
Yeah.
I think we're always learning and getting better, and so there's some stuff in this one that the way that we picked out certain parts of the story and was able to direct the acting.
Mm.
I think it just really feels like a film, and so I think that's my favorite
Yeah,
so far.
it feels awesome. It was an incredible film, and I loved watching it. But what I'm wondering is, how do y'all approach the process of storytelling in your films? Like, what elements do you prioritize for the viewers?
Good question.
Well, the first thing is like with what we're doing at the moment is taking someone's story and turning it into a movie. I think the big issue with a lot of biopics, which is like stories about real people's
Yeah.
lives, is people just think that the story is their life from birth till, the end. And that that isn't a story. It's not a story until there's like a clear thing you're going to say, and there's a beginning, middle, and end, or there's a reason why you're ending the story. So the reason that we try to find from people's lives is something that allows us to say something. So, for example, with the MatPat one, him retiring at the end of YouTube makes a good ending.
It does,
And
yeah.
we were able to say something about him as a creator and his career because we contained it to that part of his life. That's a pretty obvious one though, but
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, and I think like for that Matt Pat one, it's like the story is kind of about him and his fans and like wanting to have an impact, but kind of not finding his path until he found YouTube. And then the ending is kind of like he got that kind of standing ovation that he always wanted. And
And the thing that we were like, the way that we told the story uniquely is we saw that the opportunity to talk about him and this kid that he met in men's choir that he really helped, and that was like a theme to show how it's like a symbolism to show how he helped or how his impact on YouTube and his audience was personified in this one kid that
Where did you find the story of that kid? I'm just wondering because I feel like I looked everywhere and I couldn't find that.
yeah, it was
there is a video he spoke in 2018 at VidCon, I think,
yeah.
and that's where he shared it. It's coming up in our surprise video, so we
Yeah.
That's awesome.
we detail
When are we getting that? When are we getting that?
hopefully
Literally within
a couple days.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
gotta send it to me first. I need to see this first.
it should be out by
Okay.
the time this is out, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah. That comes out this Friday. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just quickly on that, it's like the other thing we try to do is like tell it from a perspective that hasn't been seen on YouTube because these YouTubers' lives are so public. So it's like the obvious thing is just to recreate the scenes that people have already seen in their videos. Like for Matt Pat, it's like recreating all his game theory episodes and all the best ones. But we saw an opportunity to kind of create it from the fans' perspective and see the emotional impact he's had on his fans.
Or even like him and Steph's relationship where no one's ever seen the crucial conversations that they had that really birthed game theory. So like we got to show a side that no one's seen of them. Yeah, so that's really fun to show people stuff that they haven't seen about a person before.
And then also like from a plot perspective, kind of telling the story from like what their lowest point was and where they nearly gave up, but then turning it around and almost like sending it, like going Hail Mary on their dream. And that's usually the climax of the story in these YouTubers' lives.
Yeah, it's really like when you come up with a story, it's really pointless to just be like, this is the highlights of someone's story. This is all the fun wins that they had. But when we're trying to tell a story, we're looking for like where was their lowest point? What turned them around? And like how did they fight through the biggest obstacle?
And then what did they learn from that?
Yeah.
I love that. Now speaking of obstacles, what are the obstacles, but also advantages of working as brothers?
Good question, and also a really good segue. You're
Yeah.
very talented.
Thank you.
I wish my mind was like yours. How old are you? 14?
13. I turned 13 in January.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going places.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Obstacles and advantages. I think advantages is our minds are almost like synced, like half the time. Like we think of the same creative ideas. We have the same like creative urges and hunches, which is really helpful when we're writing, shooting, editing. And then what would you agree?
Yeah, I think like it saves so much time because we know what each other would do and think. So then instead of trying to get on the same page, we're like thinking about new ideas and building on each other's ideas. So that's super important for
It's
us.
kind of OP. Like
Yeah.
it's like we have a double mind versus like creators who like have to do it solo. It's like it's awesome when you can do it with someone.
Yeah, collaboration in filmmaking is so important.
Yeah.
So like if I come up with a little idea, it could take me a couple weeks to realize the faults in it or what the best parts of it are. But when we sharing ideas, it's like I'll say an idea and Curtis will immediately say, "Oh, this is bad and this is good," and then we're building on it very quickly.
Yeah. And then the other like obstacle side is like we have to be really intentional about like just being brothers and friends as well. And I think
Yeah.
we're good at that, like just having fun.
Anytime you get into a business with a family member or a friend, like you got to make sure there's clear boundaries and you're actually hanging out. We would hate to lose our relationship as brothers because we're doing a YouTube channel together.
Yeah. But
So,
often it's like what we really love to talk about anyways, so it's hard. But I think
but it's also fun because
it's
then
fun.
as brothers we're just hanging out and making films together. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah. Now, what would you say has been the most rewarding moment as your journey in your journey as filmmakers so far?
Mm.
Other than being on the Harley J way, um,
Aw.
um, there was a moment where we kind of felt like we broke through into a different realm of life. It was after we had flew to Texas to make Ryan Trahan a video, make him a movie, and we did it. Like we actually got him there, and we actually made him a really cool film, and he loved it. And we went home, and no one knew about this,
Mm.
but we were about to fly home, and we're like, did that just happen? Like
Yeah.
we know we've got
All the footage.
all the footage in the can to make something that could be viral, and there's nothing stopping us now. Like we took the leap, we did the leap of faith, we did the risk, we did the hard work, and now we just get to go home and try post this thing.
Yeah.
That was definitely the most rewarding thing so far.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
each time it feels like that again, and
Mm.
every time, as soon as we finish a shoot, as soon as we get to the end, like Curtis and I just hug each other and we're like, we did it again.
Mm.
Like it's so fun to get to the end of the shoot.
That's that's honestly awesome. Now, what advice would y'all give to other aspiring filmmakers who are just in the early stages of their journey?
Mm. Um, I would say there's probably a million different like pieces of advice you could receive, but from us, I think what we are really proud of that we did was like just create a bunch of short films, like create hundreds of little films and stories until the point where you're really mastering your craft and you have really something to offer. And I think we every time we did create a film, like there was a period of time when we were like even in high school and like just finishing high school, we tried to make a film every month. And every time we made a new film, we would kind of like challenge ourselves to learn and grow in a new aspect of filmmaking. So it might be like, oh, we really want to tackle like a dialogue scene, or we really want to get better at color grading, or this time we want to make sure the sound is perfect. Things like that, that really every time we just stepped up and grew in our skill. And I think that really um, helped us master our craft that's at a young age. And like now it's like we're learning things that um, we don't have to relearn the basics. We know the basics, but we're just like really getting to tell these awesome stories.
Eh,
Yeah, and I would say like we were we would not only commit to try and make something every month and learn something new, we were excited just to learn the new thing. We weren't too worried about how the end product would be. We're just like, oh, if we can just nail, you know, doing good sound design this time, then that would be a win. But we would always get inspired by really good films and really good filmmakers. So like we would, if we watched Knives Out, we'd be like, oh, how can we create the same vibe as that? And through lighting and through music and through just the story, if we can create something even similar to that, then we've learnt a big lesson there. So like it'd be take inspiration from a few of your favorite filmmakers, find out what inspires you and what kind of stuff you want to do, and then it gives you a good direction to keep learning.
Yeah. And I think that's something we're still doing now. Like even in all our new trailers we're posting, we're always trying to hone in on an aspect that is new for us, or like a new challenge that we really want to get better at.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, now, big question here. Which YouTuber is next?
The truth is we actually
We don't
know. We have a few different people in mind. We're not surprised. There's a creator we're making a movie for that we're not surprising with, but we're working with them to create about their life.
Okay.
Say that.
So do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna make a movie with.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I won't say too much about it, but there's a project coming up with. And then we have our vague hit list, a few people that might be, towards the end of the year.
Okay.
But we are still thinking about who to do next. And the thing is, we like the idea of like really being strategic. Like we're not just trying to do our favorite YouTubers, but we're trying to see what is the next person and like what could we do in this moment that would really make sense on YouTube. Like the thing with MatPat is like we didn't really know when to do him, but then as soon as he announced that he was leaving YouTube, it was like a no-brainer. So we kind of leave space open for that.
Yeah, I love that. Now before the trivia game, I have one final question. Looking back on your whole Sticks journey of filmmaking endeavors, what is one key piece of wisdom that you've learned over the entire course that you can sum up right now?
Wow.
That's a good question.
Just the silence.
Yeah.
I think I got mine.
Yeah, you can go first.
I think for us, what makes our channel feel so special and so unique, and really feels like it's coming from our heart, is that we're genuinely telling our story. We're genuinely telling like our story as filmmakers. And yes, it's packaged into these like little episodes of like surprising creators with their own movies and stuff. But really, the channel at large is like this massive story arc of us wanting to become professional filmmakers, and like that's to us that's so exciting because that like what better story is coming from our heart than that. Like that's genuinely what we want, and the fact that we get to document that is so cool. So I would encourage other people to find that story and that through line that goes through all their videos, and that'll give so much more purpose to the videos, but also make it so much more exciting for the audience to kind of like want to watch the next one because it plays a part in a bigger story.
Yeah, and I think not everyone will have that, but it is something that we encourage people that if you do have like a big goal or a dream, like take your audience on that journey. Like it's not for us, this like Mr. Beast movie isn't just like a good way to get subscribers or anything like that. Like some people will just have like an arbitrary subscriber goal and think that that's an arc, but it's not really. It's more like every single video we make gets us closer to our dream of making a feature film. We haven't made a feature film yet, and we really want to do it. So
I'll help y'all. I'll help y'all.
Oh, you'll help us?
Yeah. I'm down. I'm down to help. So, I'm excited to see this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's super key, and then also know when your ideas aren't there yet, and keep refining them until people genuinely like you tell anyone and they think it's a crazy idea, they think it's a great idea, and then back yourself and just go for it. Like take the risk, kind of like YOLO. Because if you don't actually back yourself, you could just be sitting around hoping that something comes along, but you really got to take action and go for it.
That's awesome. Okay, you ready for the Sticks trivia game? Pause. Just want to let you know that if you click the link in the description, you can play your own Sticks trivia game with separate questions completely for free. Now let's resume the episode.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
that's what I've been
Okay,
waiting for.
So how this is going to work is there's 5 questions. Each one is going to get a little harder, or hopefully a little harder. And basically question number 1 is worth 1 point. Question number 2 is worth 2 points, and so on. 5 is worth 5. So you have a total of 15 points here. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Cool.
And are we versing each other or are we versing you?
No, you're not versing anything. You're just trying to just get up as many points as possible. I have the answers here.
Okay, cool.
So we're on the same team.
Yeah. You're on the same team.
If we get like low points, we just don't know much about our channel. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this should be
Yeah.
somewhat easy. This first question, I'm actually gonna make worth 2 points because there's actually 2 parts of it. So it's actually a total of 16 points.
Okay.
What is your most popular video, and how many views does it have?
Okay. I saw this yesterday. It's the Ryan Trahan. We surprised Ryan Trahan with his own movie.
Yep.
And it's on 3.7 million views.
Wow, I have the answers right next to me, right next to y'all on my screen, and you got it exactly right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay. Now, which YouTuber film features many elements relating to a popular book, movie, or a book/movie series, somewhere in either the title, thumbnail, or the film itself? And I'll give you a little hint. All 3 elements are in one place.
Whoa. So it's reference to a book, movie.
No, it's a book/movie series.
Okay.
In either the title, thumbnail, or the film itself. And there's multiple references in that one medium.
Whoa.
Like one of our videos.
Yes. And it's one of the YouTuber films.
It is one of the YouTube
Yes,
films.
it is.
Okay. So let's go through.
Oh,
Ryan Trahan.
I think I know.
What do you think?
Mark. Zach King.
Yeah, I think it's Zach King because he's just had lots of movies and books made about him. So I feel like that would make the most sense.
Okay.
We're looking in Zach.
Can you tell me what the? So you have 1 point already. I'll give you another point if you can tell me what
What the movie?
what the movie book series was. And it's both a book and movie series, and it's not about Zach King, but it's part of that.
Jurassic Park. Oh no.
I mean, there's probably, I believe there's multiple in there, but it's very prominent in one element, like very prominent.
Do you think?
Yeah, it must be.
Okay, lock it in.
Jurassic Park?
Nope.
Oh,
That's
what?
not a book.
Harry Potter. Actually, Jurassic Park is a book. Jurassic Park is a book, actually, but it's Harry Potter in the thumbnail.
Oh my gosh. Of course
That's
it is.
right. It's in the thumbnail.
Yeah, so you could have gotten a bonus point for that, but you didn't, so it's still out of a total of 16.
No better.
We didn't deserve it.
No,
Harvey.
it's okay. Okay, y'all made a film called The Hidden Fortune. Now, in the YouTube video title, how much money is featured? I'll give you multiple options. Either A, 71,000, B, 67,000, C, 76,000, or D, 65,000.
Okay, before you said all those numbers, I had a number in my head that wasn't any of the ones you said. So
I think
that's
I know
concerning,
it.
but I think I know it too.
Say your wrong answer first. What were you
I
thinking?
Initially, I was thinking 64,000.
Okay, no. It's 67,000.
Yes! That
Yeah.
is 3 points
See,
there.
that's why it's good to have 2 brains working.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a total of 9 points so far.
Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
out of
We're gonna get
total
the
of
later
16.
one.
Wait, we
We got
can't-
more points.
Is it possible to get 15 still, or are we?
You can get a total of
Did we-
16. You can still get 16.
We could still get 15 because we've only lost 1 point.
No, that 1 point you lost was a bonus point. It would have gone
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So you're still
Cool.
perfect on track.
Oh, we're getting
Okay.
15. 16.
And
Yeah.
this one honestly might be easy, might be hard. In the first scene of your social network remake, what name is brought up twice in each version?
Oh
Either
no.
A, Shane, B, Seth, C, Tyler, or D, Sean.
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 Yeah! Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If you didn't give us the multiple choice,
I know, we would have
known.
been so
Yeah.
clueless.
Yeah. Okay. Now, final question. In the thumbnail for "We Turned a News Headline into a Movie," what news company is featured? Either A, BBC,
Yes.
No.
Go.
B, CNN, C, Fox News, or D, the Herald Sun?
Actually, no. You would know this because
I-
you
I
edited
did
that
the
thumbnail,
thumbnail.
and I think it was because.
I know it.
Yeah. Go.
BB, you got it?
Fox News.
Yes!
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah!
go.
You have passed. You've gotten all questions correct, except for the one bonus point. So y'all know each other. You know your channel perfectly. So that's all.
Yeah.
That was a
That
close
was actually
call there.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you asked some great questions.
Yeah.
If we were 1-1, that would have been harder.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for being here. This was so fun. So happy we got to do this. If y'all ever want to do a follow-up interview, always here. But
For sure.
yeah, I'm excited for what comes next. So yeah.
Thanks,
man.
bro. We're excited
Yeah.
to see your journey. And like,
Yeah.
like if you're doing this at 13, like, what are you gonna be doing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, it's crazy. You're
I-
inspiring.
I have some things coming up, but can't tell you.
Watch
Excited.
this space. Watch this space.
Yeah.
Subscribe. Subscribe
Yeah.
to Harley.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Subscribe to Harley.
Okay.